Welcome back to my channel. So on today's video I'll be showing you how I made this skirt. So first thing first, I'm gonna start by cutting out the front part of my skirt. Firstly, I will just make a straight line here for my starting point, and from the starting point here, what I will do is from my tape measure I will subtract 2 inches. So this 2 inches will be for my belt. So it means that I will start measuring all my measurements from 2 inches here. And then from 2 inches, I will go down to my hip point. And after marking my hip point, I will also mark my full length for the skirt. So be careful when you mark your full length of the skirt, also add the sewing allowance. Sorry, the hemming allowance. So well, that's it. So I will come to my hip line here, divide my hip circumference by 4, and on my waist here, what I will do, I will take my waist circumference, divide by 4, and then make a point and also add extra 1 inch for my darts, and I'll join the points together. So here on the length, this part here, what I will do is I will just subtract 1 inch from my hip measurement and then make a mark. So now I'm gonna be creating the darts. For me to create the darts, I will take my nipple to nipple measurement. So my nipple to nipple measurement is 8, so I will take the 8, divide my 8 by 2, it gives me 4, and then from this 4 point here, I will just mark half an inch on both sides, and after that I will just go down by 3 inches. So this is just to create the darts, and I will join all the lines all together. And on this point here, I will go down by 1 inch, sorry, by half an inch, and then I will just connect the 2 points together like I'm doing, and then I will just cut out my skirt. So I'm cutting out here, also adding half an inch for the sewing allowance. And the next step for me to do is to cut out the back. So I will take this front part of my skirt and place this on top of the back part. So what I will do is my back part is on fold, so I'm gonna measure 1 inch for the zipper allowance, and I will just also make a straight line here. So ignore the curve I have on the front, so just make a straight line, and then I will just go ahead and cut. And then I will just open up this part right here. And then well, that's it. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna trace out the dots using the nipple to nipple measurements. So from this line here, that's when I will just mark the nipple to nipple measurement. And that's it. So I'm just gonna fold in my dots here and pin them down. So I'm just gonna do this on the back and also the front part of the skirt. So I'm just gonna go ahead to my sewing machine and then just sew in the dots. And yes, I'm done sewing in the dots from the front and the back. So here now I have my front part of my skirt and also some designed fabric which I'll be using to make straps, and this is how I'm folding it. So if you don't want these small straps that I'm trying to create here, or small lines that I'm trying to create here, you can just pass this step. So I'm gonna place one here, and then I'm just gonna place it on top of the dots on the side, and then I will just measure the spacing in between, which mine I measured 2 inches, and then I'll just pin this down and then make a stitch on top. And then moving on to the back, so I will take both my back piece and then place them right side facing and make a stitch, a loose stitch. So after making a loose stitch, what I will do is I will measure the length of my zipper and then make a point right there. And after that, I will just open this up and I will just press this part here, because this is where I'm going to be inserting my zipper, and this is the method that I prefer using to insert my zipper. So I'm just going to take my zipper, place it here, and then I will pin it down like so. And well, after pinning it down, then I will just show you where I'm going to make a stitch. So I'm going to make a stitch here, and that's it, I'm done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen up the loose stitch using my seam ripper. And this is it, I'm done. So this is more like inserting an invisible zipper, as you can see. And what I will do now is I will take my front and place it on the back, right side facing, like this. So well, at this point I'm just checking if I have the correct measurements, if I've measured correctly, and then if it doesn't match, then it means that I will have to adjust it. So in my case, my waist was a little bit big, then I had to remove some inches right there, and also on the hips. So once I'm satisfied with the measurements, what I will do is I will just make a stitch to join my back and the front on the sides. And this is it, I'm done. So I'll just trim out the sides here. And right now I'll be inserting my waistband. So for the waistband, since my waist is 30 inches, I cut out at least 33 inches. So from the 33 inches is my waist length, and the width of my waistband it's 4 inches. So I just folded in the sides, and what I will do now is I will just make a stitch here on both ends. So I'll just open up and that's it. I'm done with closing up the end part of my waistband, and then I will just go ahead and attach my waistband on my skirt. And well, that's it. My skirt here is done, and I've already attached the waistband, as you can see. What I will do is I will just insert the hooker for the overlapping waistband right there. And well, that's it for today's tutorial. This is my full skirt, and I love it. So please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I will see you on the next tutorial.